What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access. Thank you guys for supporting, and make sure you please hit that subscribe button right there. As y'all know, it's free, and that allows us to keep coming to you guys with these interviews. And please subscribe, share, like, and promote the channel because we want to keep growing so we can keep bringing you guys interviews as often as possible. Now, today we have the honor and privilege of being joined by JJ Fad. I've been trying to make this happen a long time, and it's finally here. So I'm gonna let all the ladies say hello to everybody. MC JB, say hello, please.
Hey, everybody. I'm MC JB.
Baby D.
Yo, what's up? I'm Baby D.
And Sassy C is in the building.
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? Sassy C here.
Yes, yes. So JJ Fad, thank you guys so much for coming through to Unique Access Entertainment. I'm very excited about this, and we got a lot to talk about because you guys gave a lot of great music to the world, and we're here to celebrate that as well as look at you guys' history and everything. So for somebody that has always been curious about the original lineup and the original name and how it stood for, and then it evolved into what JJ Fad was known for, I wanted you guys to explain that. So maybe JB, if you could break that down, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Okay. When we first started, there were 5 members, and the name JJ Fad stood for everybody's first initial of their first name. So Juana, Juanita, Fatima, Anna, and Dania. And then that's what JJ Fad stood for. And when that group dispersed, we knocked it down to 3, and we kept the same name, but we changed the meaning to just Jammin' Fresh and Deaf.
So, Baby D, why did you guys decide to keep the name then?
Because we had already did Supersonic, and we were doing it just because it made us happy. We was happy we did a record, and it was like we had a small name in our town, but it wasn't booming, you know, but it was the JJ Fad had rang a bell, and we was used to it. So we said we want to keep that, but let's just switch it around a little bit.
And Sassy C, you came last into the group?
Yeah, they saved the best for last. I was joking. No, I was late to the party. I was late.
But how did you get into the fold?
You know what? We hit it off right away. You know, a lot of times with girl groups, there's dissension, and sometimes, you know, that's what causes groups to disperse. But when we got together, it was just like we clicked. And from that moment forward, you know, we were the group. And being that it wasn't known nationally, that's where a lot of people, you know, they hear about it later, but it wasn't an issue initially because the song hadn't taken off nationally originally.
Right.
Okay. And then JB, what made the rotation of the group members? Why did they leave? Why did you want them to leave? What happened?
Well, I mean, there was 5 of us, so that's 5 different female personalities. That's a lot to deal with. The 3 that left, one just left because she had a child already, and she wanted to, that was the DJ. She wanted to spend more time with her child. The other 2 left because there was issues with finances. They thought we were making more money than we were. We hadn't even made it big yet. And so we had some financial disagreement. So they decided to just leave. So then it was just Baby D and I that stuck together. And then that's when we got introduced to Sassy C later on.
Okay. Now, I know I'm going to jump out of order slightly, but I had to ask this because it's coming up with Another Hoe, then, being that was the real, I guess, first song per se.
Mm-hmm.
What, given that the girls left, did you guys, once they left, how did that work, Baby D, when you guys would perform the song? Or did you keep performing it the whole song? How did it work?
Well, we actually did Another Hoe on the A side, which was the side that we really thought was going to go big because everybody was doing diss records at the time. So it was like, okay, so when we did that, we were still able to perform, but that flopped. So that wasn't even an issue. So when we got with Sassy, which Rudy Party from LA Dream Team introduced us to her, you know, after we actually did the song over, we was able to just it smoothly ran right into place. So there was no bumps and bruises. and we didn't even have to worry about Another Hoe because nobody knew about Another
Right.
Hoe.
Right.
Okay. Now, Arabian Prince had told me that you guys had really stepped to him because you wanted to rap, and Dre had kind of said whatever. But Arabian Prince agreed to produce you, but he was actually a little thrown off that you wanted to do a diss song because specifically with Roxanne Shante, because she's such a great rapper. So JB, do you remember that conversation? And if so, how do you remember it?
Well, I remember it a little different. So, and not to, say everybody has their own versions of what happened, but we did go to him to produce our song, Supersonic, and Another Hoe. We did that because at the time, like Baby D said, disc records were in big time. So we thought that was our way to get our foot into the door, was to go ahead and diss people. And then they would be like, oh, okay, look who's stepping to the plate now, coming in, it's going to be a new group that's dissing everybody. So that's why we decided to do the diss record. But we did ask Arabian too. He was the first one. He was our first producer. So that is correct.
Okay. And then Baby D, the interesting thing is, as you guys evolved, there wasn't that kind of like venom per se lyrically, at least in my opinion, throughout the majority, if not all of the rest of your catalog, other than maybe Now Really. But what made you guys not keep that same kind of aggressiveness and turn more into party, more into braggadocio type of fun type of records?
Because that's who we really are. The other stuff was just a put on. Let's just try to make this work. Let's just do this because everybody else is doing it. That's not us. We are the party girls, the girls next door, the friendly girls, that type of. So, I mean, even the diss is no harm, no bad grass with anyone. We really didn't mean none of that. And it was just all for fun. All for fun.
Okay. And then, so are all you guys born and raised in Rialto?
Baby D, I'm from the Inland Empire, yeah. I'm originally from New Orleans, but raised in Rialto.
That's quite a big difference.
Yes, it is.
Well, here's a bigger difference from you. I was born in Spain, but I was raised in Rialto.
Wow, what part of Spain, JB?
Seville.
Wow. I've only been one place in Spain, San Sebastian on the West Coast. If you ever been there.
Oh, okay.
On the West Coast.
Keep the West Coast.
I don't have a big story. I'm LA. Born in LA, raised in LA.
Gotcha. Now you guys had mentioned Dream Team. So Juana, with Dream Team Records and Rudy Pardee, and what did you see and notice and learn from that original business side of the game?
I learned that anybody can be bought for $1. And that money talks. And I also learned a lot from Rudy, though. Rudy was a great businessman. Rudy was very, very respectful. He knew his stuff. He was quite the businessman. So I did learn a lot about him as far as business goes. But then I also know that when Eazy-E stepped to him to get us, that it was all about the money. It wasn't any disrespect. It wasn't any, we want to get rid of these girls or anything like that. It was all about tit for tat. If you let me purchase these girls, I'll do this for you. It was just kind of a quid pro quo type of thing.
Wow. Okay. And then as far as making the Another Hoe Supersonic single, what, Baby D, what did you feel, if anything, different wise, like the energy back then, doing an A side and a B side of like, hey, this one's going to be a party fun song and this one's going to be a diss song. As a emerging artist, as an artist trying to get in the door, what did you feel the vibe was creating it?
The vibe was, for me, I was the youngest in the group, and I've always been a break dancer, pop locker, pop, whatever. I've always loved music and hip hop. So for me, I loved Supersonic, but the hip hop side was more me. Because if you listen to the pop side versus the hip hop side, Supersonic was the pop side, but I'm more of the hip hop side. Supersonic was the bread and butter, and the hip hop side was the appetizer. But I'm more of the hip hop, so.
Well, we'll get to this in a second, but to your point, that was one thing I really thought was interesting and clever about the Supersonic, the album, because you had the pop side and then the hip hop side. And I always appreciated and I found that was interesting, which we'll get to in a second. But the other thing with Another Hoe was how you guys first of all, we had 5 verses, and it was just going after so many artists. So what was the strategy or the thought behind that? JB, you want to get that one?
Yeah, we just felt like that was just our way to get our foot in the door. There was no ill will towards any of those ladies, none of them at all. It was just like, that was what was happening at the time. Let's get the biggest artists and diss them all. And that just was the mindset behind the whole thing, just so that they can say, oh my gosh, did you hear that JJ Fab? Did you hear how they dissed them? You know, just so we could be in everyone's mouths.
Okay.
And that didn't work.
I remember too, though, you know, the interesting thing to me was the first verse really sounded like Roxanne Shante, tonally, cadence-wise, flow-wise, to me at least. Was that intentional, accidental? You didn't realize?
I never even realized that. But I will tell you, you know, Baby D said it didn't work. It kind of did work because Roxanne Shante came back and dissed us. Right. And and then we went back and dissed her with another song. So it kind of did work in that aspect. It just didn't work as big as Supersonic did.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, when I said it didn't work, meaning it didn't work because not too many people know that song. You said it.
Yeah.
You said it, but it didn't go over. So it didn't work. It worked as far as we sung it, she sung it, we sung it, but it didn't work. It didn't hit. Yeah. It went cardboard.
They didn't even give it a color. Just like
cardboard.
Yeah,
I think people that are really into hip hop and really into real hip hop, not like pop kind of hip hop, they kind of know. They know. Because they were like, "Oh, you got her on this song," and "Oh, she came back." Like some people, it's like nowhere near the success of Supersonic. But I think if you're really a hip hop person and you're really into music like that, those are the people that really know.
Okay, one person. 2, 3. I'm just messing with y'all. I just joking.
I guess one of them's on the interview right now, so I guess.
All right.
I know, I was like, he knew because he actually analyzed it. He was like, so was that verse meant to sound like that? Did you know?
The other funny thing is, everybody, a lot of my friends, and then as I got in the game a little bit, and obviously it was a little bit later, but everybody always was like, yo, real Roxanne, she's so fine, or she's so bad, or whatever, and y'all were dissing her body and all. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? This don't even make any sense right now. But anyway.
Right.
But anyway, with the Supersonic, with the original version that was on Dream Team Records before you guys got with Ruthless, as it was blowing up, and since it was the B-side, how and why did it happen, and what was the reaction you got, and your reaction to the B-side really taking off instead of the A-side?
It was a surprise because, like we said, we really thought that was our way in the door. So we thought that Another Hoe was going to be the one. So it actually took a DJ. We had this roadie. His name was Doug Young. He's the one that said flip it over when we were doing our little road, like going to clubs and promoting the record. And some DJ flipped it over, and that's when like the crowd just went nuts. And he was like, you guys need to work on the B-side. You need to push that, not the A-side. And then that's how we decided to go ahead and push Supersonic a little bit more.
Okay. And then the song is blowing up and getting really big. So what happened with Dream Team and Ruthless? Like, who came to who? How did that work?
You want me to take that, D?
No, let Sassy take that.
Go ahead, Sassy, take that, girl.
Well, I just remember the casa. You guys remember the casa when we met Eric and I don't know. You go ahead, Wanda.
Okay. I don't think Sassy knew like the ins and outs of the whole thing. So I'll just break it down as easy as I can. Like earlier when I said anybody could be bought.
Yeah, right.
Eric, Eazy-E, had went to Rudy and said, hey, I really want these girls. I need them on Ruthless Records. We need some females, and they're just what we're looking for. And, he said, how much? And then they just negotiated. And the next thing we knew, we were off Dream Team and we were on Ruthless.
Wow. That's simple, huh? Okay.
Yep.
And then
I was glad.
Okay. So then at that point, when you guys started working on the album, how and when and why did the remix come about for Supersonic? Or just change? Yeah.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. The Eeny Meeny Beats or the one that we all did?
That you
all.
That
we were asking?
Yeah.
Well, because there was 3 of us versus 5 of us. And the song had started to take off. So we redid it so that we could market the song with the group as it was at that time.
Okay. Gotcha.
And add Dre's little flavor on it, because then he came in and he produced that song as well, put his little touches on it, more bass, of course. And he put the little spice on it, and then it really took off.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
There's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.